Hello everyone, it's me Slicks. Welcome. Today I want to show you my top 10 picks for the best epics in the game. I've been playing the game soon for half a year and I think my knowledge is pretty good. But if there's something you think shouldn't be in the list or should be in the list, you can comment below. So to start the list off, I have Maul at number 10. Why do I think he deserves a spot on the top 10 list? It's because I feel he's really good to be an epic, because he can deal a lot of damage. His range is also really good, and he has CC in his kit, so he has a lot of stuff to just be an epic. Let's check his kit out. His basic attack is deal 100% area damage to multiply enemies, can scale it up to 110. This is probably one of the best basic attacks for epics in the game, because it can hit a lot of enemies. Then we have his ultimate, Abyssal Surge, deals 750% area damage and knock back ground enemies with 1x strength. It's a 600 range, so it's a pretty low cap. You can get it down to 500 with some more damage and knockback, which is really nice. Then we have his auto here. Every 25 seconds, extend attack range. Each attack deals 150% damage, and basic attack can inflict death reduction on enemies for 3 seconds. The effect lasts for 8 seconds, and it's a 10% death reduction, so it's not that big, but death reduction in this game is really nice. And then you can skill him up for more effect duration, lower cooldown, and some more death reduction here. So let's check his awakenings here. What awakenings are good on him? I really like this one, because it makes his ultimate freeze enemies for 3 seconds. This is not that good. I like this one. It inflicts slow. Penetration is fine, but nothing special. And a lower cost can be good in like Gear Raid 3, where you need to get your units out as fast as possible. So where do I think Maul is good? I think it's really versatile. You can use him in so many places in the game. You can use him in Gear Raid 1 where he's decent. Gear Raid 2 is pretty good. He can actually solo carry as the only DPS up to 19. If you have super stacked account, maybe higher, but then you don't need him anyway. And his best place is probably Gear Raid 3 on the left side, where he's really good. You can also use him in the GVG and the Void Rift. So let's move on to the next hero on the list, and it's a fighter, and it's Wrath. Why do I think Wrath belongs in the top 10? He gets a lot of extra points just because he's a lord, and he's a lord for a really good faction. This faction is really good, like early, mid, and into the end game. Then they fall off a little bit, but for the most part of the game, he will be a carry on your account. Let's check his kit here. Wrath crit rate 50%. A crit hit has 20% chance of attacking 2 times quickly. A bit easier to build in with a less crit rate here, and this is pretty nice for more attack. Normal physical, basic attack 100% to one enemy, can skill up to 110. It's basic, nothing good there. His ultimate is an auto. Increased damage by 30% for 30 seconds. Additionally, every 3 attack launched triggers an attack up to 5 enemy units in range, dealing 90% damage. And you can skill up the damage here, reduce the skill cost. Soul Basher. For every 4 attack launched, the next attack deals 60% additional damage. You can skill it up to 100. It's pretty good. It procs every 4 seconds. So let's check his awakenings here. I'm not super fan of his awakenings. I think this is like whatever. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. But this one is really good. So if you can get him to A5, you should try to get him to A5. When Heavy Blow is triggered, the hero restores HP to equal 30% of the damage dealt. This means he can survive on his own and he doesn't need a healer. And that can be useful in a lot of places like the Campaign, the Void Rift. I really like his A5. So moving on, number 8. And that's also a fighter that fills a pretty similar role, Deimos. So why do I think Deimos deserves a top 8? Because he can help you so much early game. And he is good, but he falls off a bit end game, and that's why he's only 8. But if you're early to mid, this is one of the best heroes in the guild boss. Let's check his kit here. Basic attack deals additional damage equal to 2% of the hero's max HP. People from raid might think this is good, but it's a bit extra damage. It's not that good. I like this attack though. Deals 75% damage to one enemy 2 times. So you can scale it up to 85, so it's a bit higher damage than normal attacks, and it also scales with his kit. Here is his ultimate. Increase max HP by 100% and attack and defense by 20%. Each basic attack lands 4 consecutive hits. This effect lasts for 20 seconds, and you can make the attack and def be higher, also max HP, and lower the skill cost. And here is where a lot of his damage comes from. Each consecutive attack against the same target increases damage by 10% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 6 times. The duration of the effect will not be refreshed after reaching maximum number of stacks. Stacks will be reset upon switching targets. And here you see we can get 5% more. So it's a lot of extra damage you can get up here, and versus the guild boss he's not switching targets, so this is up all the time, and that's why he can deal a lot of damage to the guild boss. So let's check his awakenings here. This is decent, some extra HP regen. This is not that good. This is nice, more damage. This is fine. This one is really good though. When tearing stats reach full stacks, attacks ignore 50% of the target's defense. So where can you use Deimos? It's the same as Wrath. Really good on guild boss. Pretty good in the campaign. So moving on, we have another guild boss champion. Guild boss is really important early on. It's important through the entire game, but later on it's more auto farm. But this hero can help you a lot. Even in the end game, I still use this hero. Here is Pyros. Why do I think Pyros is this good that he deserves top 7? He is an Infernal Lord, and Infernal heroes are really good, especially on the guild boss. And his destruction is his ultimate here. His Lord Bonus makes that all faction allies gain penetration increase for 10 seconds, ignore 30% of defense and magic rest. So this is really good also. So let's check his kit here. Pyros increases his attack speed by 50 per attack for 5 seconds, stacking up to 6 times. So you can get pretty high attack speed from just his talent. It's pretty good. He has a normal basic attack here. You can see 110% to one enemy. His ultimate is really good. When activated, increase damage by 60% for 15 seconds and marks one target in range with the highest HP at the moment to make it a prioritized target, while dealing 30% damage per second. The mark lasts for 7 seconds and explodes at the end of its duration, dealing 200% area damage to nearby enemies. When the hero is deployed as a lord, gains focus fire. And this is something that makes him really good with Infernal champions. Faction allies, except healers, join forces to channel energy to the Lord for a powerful strike, regardless of their location. The damage of the strike increases based on the number of participating heroes up to 700%. So this is really good for the guild boss. If you use this with something like Silatu, it will deal so much damage. You can also increase the damage, lower the skill cost, increase the duration, so you can make the skill a lot better. Then we have this passive here, which is also really good. Inflicts vulnerability to physical and magic on targets marked with the destruction command, and deals 150% additional area damage when the mark explodes. The area damage it's good, but it's this that's good. This helps a lot. What about his awakenings? I think his awakenings are pretty weak. This is whatever. This is pretty much whatever. It's some extra damage. This one is good though. The delusional gaze lasts 5 more seconds if the target is still alive after the end of destruction. So yeah, you have this longer on the target. Penetration 5, whatever. This is also whatever. Not used that often. So where can you use Pyros? I would say Guild Boss and Campaign mostly. The reason I hold him so high is because he is so good on the Guild Boss. Like I said, I still use him in my team, and I have a pretty stacked account. So until you get like Twin Fiend A1, he's the best lord for the Infernal team. Oh well, we have Soul Cadence now. That's also pretty good. So let's move on. The top 6 was actually pretty hard to make because I really like all the heroes on top 6 here. So the order could have been a bit different here, but this is what I went with. My number 6 best epic hero in the game is Vortex. And why do I hold Vortex that high? He just heals, right? Yeah, he just heals and puts some shields on your team. But he has one of the best ranges in the game. And if you play around with this guy, you will see this is really useful. This is so nice. And it's also HP based, which makes him survive a bit better on his own. His healing is really nice too. Let's read his kit here. Grants HP based healing to one ally in range. Here's his ultimate. Increase the healing multiplier by 25% for 20 seconds. When triggered, restores HP equal to 10% max HP for allies in range. If the heal amount exceeds their max HP, 110% of their max HP, 110% of the excesses will be converted into damage absorbing water shield. So you want to use his ultimate so it overheals, because the shield gives more value than the healing. You can also skill it up for more healing, bigger shields, lower cost. His passive is when the hero's basic attack heals in excess of the target's HP, their surplus healing is converted into a damage absorbing water shields equal to 70% of the healing, which lasts for 10 seconds. During the effect of moisture, the hero can heal one more target. So this is really nice if you have healed everyone to fully, because you get more value out of it. And let's check his awakenings here. When on the field, grants a random ally shield equal to 20% of their HP every second. This is 25 seconds. This is like fine, but it's not that good. Some extra more HP can be nice because it's HP based. Increase the healing multiplier on platform units by 20%. It's some more healing. Pretty good. Rage region. It's fine, but it's normal A4. This one is pretty good. Healing Ripple Shield absorbs 10% more damage. So the A5 is pretty good also. But why do I hold the Vortex as high as number 6 as the best epics in the game? It's because it's probably the most... not the most, but it's in the top of the most versatile heroes in the game. You can use him in so many places. He's good almost everywhere. You can use him in Gear Raid 1. He's the best healer for Gear Raid 2. You can use him for Gear Raid 3. You can use him for Guild Boss. You can use him for GVG. You can use him for... he is really good for the Void Rift, not just usable. And he's good for the Codex also. So that's why I hold him so high. I still use him a lot because, yeah, he's just good. And I know this is the most deployed hero in the game, and that's for a reason. So let's move on here to number 5. It's Idril. I really like Idril. I think they have done a really good job designing her kit. She's a bit unique, and I really like unique heroes. So, what does she do? Let's start with her basic attack. Each attack deals 70% attack damage to enemies targeting airborne enemies first. You can scale it up to 80%. It's pretty good. But this is what makes her so good and so interesting. Limitless shots. The attack range becomes unlimited. Attacks a single enemy 3 times. Each time dealing 70% attack damage. The effect lasts for 15 seconds. And you can scale this up for lower cost, more starting reach, longer duration. And there's also an A5 on her that makes this insane. We'll get to that soon. So she can attack anyone on the map, and that's so good. Then we have her passive. Each time an ally casts their ultimate, the hero's next attack will deal 50% increased damage. Airborne units take 30% extra damage instead. So, and you can scale it up for more damage. So this means you want to ult with Idril first and then use the other ultimates to get max value out of Idril. She's also really good versus airborne units. Let's check her awakenings here. This one is pretty good. Some extra damage, but not that big of a deal. Using limitless shots recover rage for allies with 55% of the rage cap is pretty good. Some extra rage is always nice. This is whatever. And this is what is really good. You should really try to get the Idril to A5, because this will help you so much in a lot of places, especially gear rate 3. So yeah, where can we use her? Gear rate 3 is where she shines. I think she's one of the best heroes in the game for gear rate 3. Together with maybe Silas. And to be considered one of the best heroes in the game at something, I think that's really valuable when ranking a hero. And you can use her in other places too. She's really good in anti-air arena, and she can be used in the Void Rift also. So that's why she's top 5. So now we move on to top 4. This hero might surprise a few people that doesn't know what the hero does, but it's actually Laurel. I really like this hero again. It's a cool hero design because it's something unique. So what does Laurel do? Well, the good thing about her is I can't show it here, but it's her promotion. When you promote her to A5, when she dies or when you remove her from the board, everyone in one hex around her gets 50% of the rage cap. And that's the thing you use her for. You just give your allies rage and remove her, and then you do the same thing again. But you need her to be promoted A5 to do that. That might not sound as much, but this is one of my most used heroes still as an endgame player. She's really good gear rate 1, really good gear rate 2, really good gear rate 3, really good guild boss, really good arena, and she's pretty good nightmare. So yeah, she's so good in so many places, and that's why she has top 4. Let's move on to number 3, and it's actually a tank. It's Olague. Why do I think Olague deserves top 3? This is a hero you get from entering the Void Rift. So it's a free hero that's one of the best in the game. Let's check his kit out here. Just a basic attack, does nothing. His ultimate is stops attacking and shifts to a defensive stance for 25 seconds. Increase physical damage reduction by 40% and block by 1. You can increase the duration and the damage reduction and the skill cost. And this is not that good early on. This can be useful in really hard content like Void Rift Nightmare and stuff like that. The downside is this skill doesn't work when you activate the ultimate, and this is the best part of his kit. Silver Shield, it's an auto. Every 12 seconds, cast a shield that can absorb damage equal to 50% of max HP. And if you level this up, it's actually 85% every 11 seconds. So he can pretty much sustain himself. So I consider this guy to be one of the best tanks in the game. And early on when I got him, he helped me so much everywhere. And that's why I hold this guy so high, because he's so good as a tank. And he doesn't need a healer either, as I mentioned. His awakenings are like fine, but they're not a must. He can sustain himself on A0. Increase the strength of shields granted by 10%. Pretty good. Def 100, nah. HP, pretty good. All damage reduction, 5%. Pretty good. When the ultimate is triggered, grants physical damage reduction. of the same duration to agent allies. I'm not sure about this one, because there are not many places in the game where you need to help your allies. And it's also a ground unit, which makes it harder to use. I'm not super fan of this. Doesn't fit that well with his kit. So, where can you use Olague? He's really good for Campagne. I would say one of the best heroes for Campagne. Same with the Void Rift. Some people use him in GVG. He's like fine if you don't have better options. But I rate him so high because this is one of the best progression heroes in the game. So let's move on. Now we have the top 2, and you can probably guess what top 2 heroes that are left. Or can you? We are scrolling down to the healers. Second place, best epics in the game, Hollow. Why do I think Hollow deserves top 2? I think Hollow might be the best healer in the game. Even consider legendaries. I won't talk too much because I will make a legendary video also, so I won't say who I think is the best legendary healer. But she is fighting with her for the best healer in the game. Let's read her kit here. Attack-based healing to one ally in range. It's whatever. The ultimate is really good. When trigger, increase the hero's healing multiplier by 25% for 20 seconds. And the hero can heal one more target. So this is just healing. So why is this ultimate good? We will get to that soon. First we will read this skill. When Light of Bliss is activated, recovers 0.6 rage for allies in the range every 1 second. And it can go up to 1.4. So that means when this is activated, everyone gets more rage. And her awakenings are pretty important to know about, so we'll go through them here. Each healing restores 1% rage of the rage cap. So if you have her A1, you don't want her to fully heal your allies. You want them to be slightly below max HP, because then they will get more rage. HP doesn't matter that much. Rage cap on the ultimate is nice, minus 100. Attack 5%, some more healing, it's fine. This one is really good also. Each cost of Light of Bliss increases the efficiency of accumulating rage by 15% until the battle ends, up to 5 stacks. So with this, your allies get a lot more rage. So she's really good at A5. Where can you use Hollow? Almost everywhere in the game. And she's like the best hero in so many places also. Get rid 1, you can use her as a healer and rage regen, which is really strong. Get rid 2, Vortex is still a little bit better. Maybe you can use her early game there, but I wouldn't recommend for Get rid 2. Get rid 3, she's really good. And I would say she's the best healer in the game for Guild Boss. And to be an epic and have the number 1 healing spot for one of the most important places in the game, I think that should give her that rank 2. You can also use her in like the Void Rift also, and the Codex, she's good there too. So, who is number 1? I think if you have played the game for a while, you know, but if you don't know, this hero will help you so much. Might be the best hero in the game, even including legendaries. So, Dolores. What does Dolores do? She's just a buffer with a little bit healing. Might not sound that good, but you will see when we get into the kit here. Grants attack-based healing to all allies in range. Healing frequency will not be affected by attack speed. Some people don't read this, so a lot of people are building her with attack speed. I wouldn't recommend attack speed on her. Then we have her ultimate, and this is why she's so good. Applies 30% inspiration to other allies in range for 14 seconds. And you can skill this up so it has a longer duration, lower cost. And it goes up to 40%. So what is inspiration? This is like why she's so good. Increase attack proportionally to the caster's attack. While this effect is active, other buffs affecting the inspiration will not take effect. Additionally, the caster is immune to such buffs. So this means she's giving everyone in range more attack, and it's based on her attack. So you want as high attack as you possibly can get on Dolores. So always try to max the attack before focusing on other stats. Then we have her passive. 60 seconds after being deployed, permanently increases basic attack's healing multiplier by 5. Graceful Dancing will have a 50% chance to increase the rage by 100 when it ends. And you can level this up for reduced trigger time, more rage. You don't care that much for healing on Dolores, because she's not healing that much. She's just in there to buff your attack of the team. She's also a 5 cost. I haven't mentioned much about cost, but 5 cost is really low, so that also makes her really good. What about her awakenings? The inspiration effect of Graceful Dancing increases by 20%. This is really good. HP 1200 doesn't matter that much. During the effect of Graceful Dancing, increase the healing multiplier by 10. This is like whatever, because she doesn't heal anyway. Attack 5% is really good on her, because she scales so good with attack. And her A5 is pretty good also. When Graceful Dancing ends, increase the chance of increasing rage to 80%. So that means she will get her ult back faster. So, where is she good? Well, where is she not good? Is there any place she's not good? One of the best heroes in the game, Gear Raid 1, Gear Raid 2, Gear Raid 3, Guild Boss, Arena, Void Rift. The only places she's not shining at the moment is Codex and GVG. But because she's like the best hero in her role in so many places, that's why I hold her number 1. So, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, you can comment below and I will answer as much comments as I can. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you're more than welcome to do so also. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video. Bye!